I'm going to be doing a proper update video of, I guess, my ongoing review of the Dr Michael Mosley blood sugar diet, which it does seem people are interested in, and I'm interested in my progress and kind of reports back. So that's very flattering kind of thing. And it's also a good thing for me to kind of keep myself honest, right? I'll be doing the proper weigh-in tomorrow morning, because that'll be the fourth weigh-in of this stage, this experiment. And I thought I'd kind of put together a couple of little bits and bobs here to make a video kind of update about where I am. In terms of strict reading, I was a little bit put off by the first few pages of the John Brunner Stand On Zanzibar. I found it, as with it's every science fiction novel, you starts off by plunging you in media res, and they kind of tend to throw a lot of argot, jargon, this kind of new world at you, and that's very, very, very standard opening technique. And I should have, just because I haven't read anything for a little bit in that genre, that I kind of forgot that. And some of his kind of made-up language is a little bit jarring, and okay, so that slightly pushed me back. But once I actually got through that, which is often the case with speculative fiction, and I kind of got a little bit more understanding what he was trying to do, then I got into it. I'm getting into it, and it's rocking along quite well, actually. I don't think I've made my kind of assigned pagination, which isn't great, but I mean, I'll catch up a little bit. Probably do a little bit of reading today. It was a beautiful day this morning up until about an hour ago, and it seems to have clouded over a little bit, and I was going to read outside, so I may not get too far today, but fine, great. And I was going to say, you may have noticed the goatee's gone. Just got bored with it, right? I mean, you do, don't you? And so what I might try, I sometimes do the sort of soul patch thing, right, sort of here. Might give that a little bit of a go and grow the hair for a couple of days and then see kind of business, right? And I was going to say that one of the things about doing the videos of yourself, which I mean I'm not really not used to doing, is that you can sort of fool yourself a little bit, right, with your baldness, because you think, oh, there's something going on up there. It's kind of not as bad as it used to be, but don't really, the back is not doing so good, and this forehead's pretty high, really. Because it's a year of experimentation and kind of, trying to fix myself in a few ways, to my benefit and amusement, if no one else's, right? I think I might try the stupid regain stuff. I mean, what have I got to lose, really? I mean, I do understand it's a life sentence, and if it does have any effect at all, you have to carry on doing it. But, what is in it? Fuck it, maybe I'll do a toupee. I don't care, right? I do care, I wouldn't do that, actually. But I think the sort of totally bald shaven look is very, very, very certain sort of dude in England does it. And I was on a plane not so long ago from Manchester, and every single one of the blokes over 20 had the shaven head, and I thought, it's a bit of a uniform now, and you got to zig when they zag, right? I'm also going to include a little silly video, a little bit clip at the end about my finally starting. Well, I mean, I bought a bass guitar, right, during lockdown, because I thought it'd be the perfect time, and it just never happened. I think I got it out and tuned it once with an electronic tuner. But I've got a great app. I've got Musician, bit of a plug there, which I find very good. I've got a couple of other books as well, various things recommended to people, and it's sort of, very, very silly. I did start on a full-size bass, but I kind of found, because I got tiny girly hands, right, I found moving the fretting quite hard. So I've kind of moved to, on the advice of my friend Paul, the bass player, I'm doing I've got a 3/4 size bass a few weeks back, and I haven't really, yes, I've been playing with it, but again, to keep myself honest, I recorded a second or two of me plunking away, and it's slow and painful. I absolutely appreciate that, but I mean, I'm literally trying to learn how to. It's color-coded chart, this finger, this here, this here, and that's where I got to start, and I accept that, and that's it. If it takes me 20 years, if I got 20 years, it'll take 20 years, right? But I mean, as long as you do something every day and you kind of get a bit more fluency and you build it with strengthening your fingers and you start understanding. A musician doesn't get just tab, right? So it doesn't give you any notes yet. But I'm conscious of I don't really want to not know anything about that either. So yeah, it's all. I think of it as I think it's a pretty good hobby. I think it's good something to to get into that, right? Okay, right. So that's all that, right? So on the weight front, yeah. Well, I'll do the proper weigh-in tomorrow and the proper report. I have lost weight, and I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I'll talk about it much more in the kind of next part of this, but I mean, my overwhelming feeling is one of shame, really, and even that video of me plunking away, you'll see at the end. I mean, that's how did I get so fat? How did I get so fat? I know why I got fat, right? Because I drank a lot of beer and ate a lot of Chinese takeaways, right? And I didn't do much activity, and I watched a lot of telly over the last few years. And could I have done it differently? Sure. I mean, I've had a period of activity. Last time I was really, really active, really going to the gym was 2014. I had some little bit of family kind of issues that knocked me off that, and also I had a great arrangement with UCLan, where they let me use the university library because I had a membership library, and I could use the gym as well, which I paid for, and it was all really good and really good fun and everything. But then they kind of stopped that, they withdrew that, which they're allowed to do, and then I got out of the habit, and one thing led to another. So yeah, so I'm fat, right? And like I said, shame. I feel shameful. I feel ashamed, really, because I don't know. People told me, people who I care about and care about me told me and warned me and tried to encourage me and made suggestions and everything, and I would kind of. And I don't think I'm alone, right? And I mean, but it's kind of like. Really. So I'm in a sort of negative space about it, really, which is peculiar because people also tell me, well, you've started, so that's really positive and you should carry on, and that's and all that kind of really good stuff, and I really, really, really appreciate that. But I just do feel so yeah. I'll talk about this properly and the food and everything tomorrow when I do the proper thing, and I'm sure it'll be good news, and I hope it'll be good news and everything. But I suppose if I've got trying to communicate anything, if you haven't started this yet, I really think you've just got to. You've just got to. And it's nothing about excuses and everything. I mean, a switch clicks in your head, right? And it's clicked in mine. It has clicked in mine. It really has. And it took a few things, But I got there, and I had a couple of girlfriends. Every girlfriend I've ever had has been a smoker, right? It's just the fact. One girlfriend, one lovely girlfriend of mine, went to do the Alan Carr thing about not that Alan Carr, another Alan Carr, to do the non-smoking thing. And she said she went a couple of times, and she read the book a couple of times. She said eventually what it comes down to is you click a switch in your head, and you say you say it's a positive, not a negative, and you say. It's not that I've stopped smoking, say I'm a non-smoker, okay? So if I could have made the switch in my head which can say I want to be a proper healthy weight and be more active and just get rid of a lot of things that don't make me feel good about myself and about my health and my weight and my heart and my blood sugar and all of those things, right? I mean, that's which is your life, right? And also I don't feel good about myself when I look at pictures or videos from the last far too long, really. And partly the reasons I've sort of included that rather not very aesthetic at the moment picture of me plonking away is to kind of reinforce the point for myself, if no one else. It's not good. It's not acceptable. It's not who I want to be. I don't think it is me. I don't think it's the Gary that's in there, right? The platonic Gary, right? And I mean, I'm sure people watching this will be feeling the same way about themselves, and Yeah. So there you are. Um, slightly bit down now. Hopefully, be more positive tomorrow. But let's see what the morning and the scales bring. I've got a great app. My friend Kevin bought me this kind of Bluetooth-enabled set of scales, which has lots of good data. Some of those are very, very bad and very red, but some of them are okay and some of them are green, right? So, yeah. All right. Okay. I think that's enough. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in the morning. Okay. Bye bye bye. Hi, folks. Right. So it's the morning. And I have weighed myself, and I'm going to give you all of that data in a minute. I'm kind of being a little bit ambitious with this video to some extent. I'm clipping together a couple of things, and so I'll try and get through it reasonably quickly. The good news is, and it's great, right? I have lost more weight, and I didn't lose a huge dramatic amount. I lost 0.7 kilograms in a week, which, as we're about to see with all my data, is, call it 1.4 pounds, 1.38, 1.375. And so that's great. And since this is 4 weeks, so this is my fourth weigh-in, right? So I started this on the 19th of October, right? So really, officially, the blood sugar diet, there's a little bit of a run into it, but that's the metric, yeah? That's the baseline. And in that time, I have lost... I've gone from 106.0 to 100.5, so 5.5 kilograms, which is really good. And that works out to about £3 a week. Now, that's great, really good, right? I think that's more than I would get on standard diets, or certainly diets I've had in the past. I'm still not under 100, which is a little bit annoying. But I think I've got reasons for that, which I'm about to share. I had some very interesting conversation with my co-parent, most intelligent person I know in the world, who has given me some useful insights. And her kind of perspective on this is that I'd probably be losing weight anyway, simply because of the change of my lifestyle. So I've gone from living in the UK with access to a nice supermarket, Morrison's over the road, to lots of Chinese takeaways and other takeaways, but I did tend to sort of gravitate to the Chinese. Fish and chips I got into as well. So, okay. I never was massively convinced by the fish they used, but anyway, I think it was a northern thing. And alcohol, going to the pub, alcohol at home, and not very sedentary. Now I've got to a different lifestyle. I'm still quite sedentary. I'm a tiny bit less sedentary than I was, and I need to work on that, and I'm aware of that. Okay, but absolutely no takeaways. It's all cooking for myself. I have to cook for myself. I have to cook from scratch, which must make a difference. Yeah. And there is alcohol, or there has been alcohol. Spanish wine in the supermarket is astonishingly cheap and very good quality. And I've dipped into that a little bit. And there's been a few very pleasant evenings by the pool with my host, where we've played MP3s to each other and gone through our back song catalogues, and there's been a bit of beer and wine then, but no spirits. My host has a very good rule. He says, just make it a no spirit thing. I might drink spirits at Christmas. I might get a duty free back in the old Jameson, whatever, maybe a high quality Jameson. So yeah, that's gone out of it. So just by that dint alone. Now, my data suggests that I think when I started this, I said I was 3 kilos under Hermann Goering weight. Now, I didn't take an official weigh-in of that, which was 117 kilos, but my data shows I was 117 kilos, excuse me, in February. I was still in the UK then, so I came out here mid-April. Now, that is shockingly bad. My co-parent's perspective on the Mosley diet, she said, "You're doing keto." I said, "Well, I don't think I'm doing keto. That's not what it's labelled as." She said, "Well, it's a zero carb diet, isn't it?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, what happens with that? If you every time you eat some carbohydrate, then your body stores a little bit of water, there's some ratio, right?" And she said, "Well, what happens if you cut out carbs? You're going to lose water weight anyway, and you will lose a little bit of real weight." Now, I'm sure she's right, and I'm sure that's perfectly logical.
In a way, I don't care as long as I'm losing weight. And her challenge to me, and this is, I think anyone who's interested in Mosley diet, dieting, weight loss journey, all the rest of it kind of thing, is this sustainable? It's a very good question. I think it is. I mean, I'm 4 weeks in of, well, what my plan is, right? 8 weeks, Christmas break. There's going to be a Christmas break. Restart. I'm going to restart the 26th because that the Twixmas thing is A, weird, and B, kind of even weirder here out in, I won't be on my own, but right. So there'll be alcohol. I'm going back to the UK. There'll be drunk. I'll drink drinks. I'll eat takeaway. I'll feast food, right? And I'll eat bread and all those kind of things, right? So, but I don't think it's going to be hard for me to come back to this. I do think it's sustainable. It sometimes gets boring. It does. And I think Mosley and his missus were very good in suggesting all sorts of, fun, creative things to do. Some of which, as I've said before, I think involves ingredients which are just not massively easy to get, especially here. But you make do, you substitute, kind of thing. Playing around with things. I had a bit of a pulse week this week. I'm probably going to go and try a bit of a fishy week next week, so you can keep yourself going. Sometimes just life, work, your other tasks, right? You get to the point where you can't really be massively asked to. So it's always good to have something in the fridge, and they say that, and that's all very useful. If you told me that you would never be able to eat a croissant, Gary, or some rice, or some nice pasta, or a nice, Asian noodle dish ever again in your life, I'd be disappointed, and I wouldn't be happy about it. If you said to me you could only really possibly eat that once or twice a week and you should try and keep to this kind of regime the rest of the time, I don't think that would be too bad. So, yes, that's good. Now, I'm also finding data and metrics very helpful in this, with a slight corollary. And I'm going to share my video of I find my weight loss app, my weight measurement map, very, very useful. Gives me lots of information. I do like that kind of Star Trek band of various indicators, most of which are not in the right colour. They're reds and they're oranges. Hello, cat. You don't live here. Oi! What are you doing? Doesn't give a shit. Don't go in my house and scare my cat. I'm gonna have to monitor that a little bit. Farm cat next door, tough as nails, I think. On its way. Very sweet though. Yes, and most of what I'm going to say in the little information video at the end, a lot of those metrics are either things I literally can't do that. It loves my bones. It says I've got excellent bones. For one thing, I can't do anything about. Can't do anything about that at all. I can try doing something about my visceral fat and my other things, and I could just carry on doing and hope those things turn from red to green. Okay. I'm going to say, even though I've lost weight and I didn't lose a huge amount this week, okay, have I been absolutely strict with my measurements and my calculations of the calories? Probably not. Probably not. And so I'm going to try a bit better on that this week. You get hungry, you do. And maybe not eating lunch really is not great because it gets to the point where you need something. And I'm conscious that I have to be careful. So I'll eat sort of nuts. I'll eat raisins. I'll throw some raisins in there, dried fruit, very high in sugar. I know that. Right. But I mean, you need a little bit. There has been wine. I've got down to a bottle a week, right? Because I've got talking with Liz, my kind of weight loss mentor out here. It's kind of like, you got to live as well. And I think it's more sustainable. So there'll be a little bit of wine, once a week type thing. Watch something fun, watch some football, watch some Autumn Nations, whatever it is, yeah. A little bit of that, listen to music. I think that's not too bad. So I think, summing up, I think I'm pretty keen on the BSD. I think I'm doing well. I am, as I said in the start of the video, depressed about kind of, I've got not very happy with my stomach. I think I've got kind of like, I'm not sure I've got intertrigo or it's whatever, but it's it's something I've never noticed, but now I'm more conscious of it. It's kind of like, oh, that's not very nice. And that's the belly flap, right? It's disgusting. It really is. But, I find it disgusting. And women have said to me, it's a bit rich me saying that, because if you've had a baby, then then life never goes back to what. And I respect that, and like that's not been my experience. Now I'm just kind of noticing this really for the first time. Yeah. Right. So I'm trying to feel better. I'm trying to feel, if I could get under 100 next week, I'd be so pleased. But I think the thing I'm in my head at the moment is this is a long-term journey. No complacency. Keep going. Lifestyle changes, all that kind of stuff. The weather. I always say this, don't I? The weather has turned. It's very autumnal today. Very autumnal. But I've had some couple of really bright days in the week. It was absolutely crazy with the edges of the Dana storm on, was it Wednesday. It was horrific here. Got a bit better. Seems like a not such a great day today. So that's me. Now, if you're trying to do something similar, I can only encourage you. I can only express my solidarity. My TikTok feed seems to have found a couple of people who've been done equally sort of dramatic long-term things, and they give you good advice. And if you've got access to that, that's good. And so I'm going to share my data now, and then I'm going to inflict. You can skip to the end if you want after the data. Should you be interested, the other thing I'm trying to do is another self-improvement thing is my base, which has been slow progress, but I'm plugging away, determined to kind of make progress there. So all in all, my friends, that's kind of where I am. I'll now switch over to the data part. Okay, cheers, bye-bye. Okay, so this was my weight 4 weeks ago, 19th of October. Okay, 106.0 kg. This is my weight this morning, 4 weeks in, 4 weeks of the BSD, 100.5 kg. Which is great, right? 0.7 kg down. Not hugely dramatic, but quite satisfying. I have been a tiny bit frustrated I'm not under 100, because I thought I'd kind of get there by now. This is quite horrifying. This was, according to the app, I was 117 in February. I'm pretty sure I got up to that again in August, but I don't think I took any measurements. Now that is absolutely huge. It really is. Quite shameful, quite shocking, really. I don't think I've got over that. I might have hit 118, and this is today, and that's a slope that's going down, right? So that's 100.5. That is a good weight loss. Okay, that's obviously down from the peak, but in the time I've been doing the blood sugar diet, it's gone down from 106 to 100.5, right? Which is, so from my absolute worst, that's 16.5 by my maths, which is 36 pounds, which is, let's call it 2.5 stones, shade over, which is quite a lot, right? I can't put that down specifically to the blood sugar diet for reasons I explained earlier. Like I said, on the blood sugar diet so far, I've lost 5.5 kilograms, 12 pounds, not a stone, but not too far off either. That's pretty healthy, right? And I think my next slide is what that is, averages out. Yes, that's 1.38, call it, per week, £3 a week. Okay, which I think is larger weight loss than you might get with other diets. I don't know. Again, as in the earlier part of the video, there might be some kind of reasons for that. Now, look, this is my ideal weight. Okay, according to my site, according to the NHS charts, BMI 70 kilograms. I haven't been 70 kilograms probably since I was in my early 20s. That's 11 stone and change. Okay, well, let's call it 11 stone. That's a target. That's 30.5 kilograms from where I am now. That's a lot. Let's call it 5 stone. Still to go. Which I suppose would add up to, what would that be? That would be 7.5 stone weight from Hermann Goering level to ideal. that's another, I think I've got the slide twice, which is the amount per week. Okay, 1.38. Pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Could maybe be better, but I mean, could it be sustainable, as discussed? Okay. So then I think my next, yes. So, okay, sorry, I'm repeating myself a tiny bit here. That's the weight loss so far on the blood sugar diet, 5.5 kilograms, 12 pounds and a bit, not a stone, not far off a stone. Okay. So I wanted to share a little bit more about this app I've got, which I'm finding very useful. That's sorry, that's where I am again. I've done this video like 3 times now, so I'm not going to change it. You just have to bear with. I'm sorry. It reinforces the point, doesn't it? Okay. So then I think so. I've got this kind of Star Trekky app interface which measures all these things, depressing things like potty score, body age, right? But it gives me these metrics. I don't know how accurate they are about, and some of them are green, like I said. Some of them are, I mean, it loves my bones, which are literally the thing I can't do anything about. I'm eating a lot of protein, doesn't seem to be going up in there. It's like some of the kind of measures here. Obviously, visceral fat is scary, subcutaneous fat is scary. Likes my BMR. Okay. So it's kind of, I think it's quite reassuring to have an app like this, that it does seem to like some parts of you, no matter where you are in your weight loss journey, but gives you some kind of guidance. I mean, some of these things I can't see what I do about them, apart from continue to just kind of get fitter, right? I mean, get fitter and lose weight. What else can I do? Okay.